Welcome to We Didn't Plan for This, a special series from How Yoga Changed My Life. Normally on the podcast, we talk about practices like movement, breathwork, and meditation, and how they've changed people's lives. But this series, it's different. It's about the moments that shift everything. The seasons you didn't see coming, and how we keep showing up anyway. And if something here resonates with you, follow our show, share it with someone who might need it, or send us a message. Because the truth is, we didn't plan for this, but we're here. Hi, this is Adrienne. Welcome back to another episode of We Didn't Plan for This. Today, I'm sitting down with Nora because a lot has happened behind the scenes over the past few months with Nora's breast cancer journey. And we wanted to kind of catch everybody up to speed. Also because she finally got some answers that she's been waiting on pretty much since 2 weeks after her first surgery. No, 1 week.
I think it was like the next week, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like the next week. So, okay, since we've last talked, catch everyone else up on kind of, what's been going on with you.
Yeah, well, if you didn't hear before, I was diagnosed with breast cancer from having symptoms in December and finally got a diagnosis in February and needed a bilateral mastectomy with a deep flap reconstructive surgery in order to remove the cancerous cells. And at that point, I was told, you'll be good. Mm-hmm. It's a major surgery, but you're doing it at the right stage. You're at stage 1. Everything's good. We don't think you're going to need any other kind of intervention at all whatsoever after this. You just need to heal and get stronger. Okay, cool. So we went through all that, and we talked about the journey of diagnosis and all the way up until that point in the last 2 episodes about all of this. And then I'm home. I was recovering. I was still on a lot of drugs. Mm-hmm. And my doctor called. And it was the doctor. It wasn't her staff. Mm-hmm. It was her. And she said, the pathology came back from your bilateral mastectomy, and the cells turned out to be invasive after all. I said, what does that mean? And before that, I had heard the words invasive versus non-invasive as far as the cell diagnosis goes. Invasive means that they have properties that allow them to move or migrate to a different part of your body, take up shop there, and then cause cancer in that part of your body. Right. So, but of course I didn't know that until I was diagnosed with it and I started doing the research. Right. And I had no idea that even though I knew what I thought I knew about breast cancer, I didn't realize that breast cancer, like before it goes metastatic, it can literally, I guess that's part of it is going to, you can get breast cancer in your bone in your leg.
Yeah, and
right,
brain.
Or in your brain, right? Because those cells
too.
Can just migrate to that part, take up shop, and then just start duplicating, making, doing their thing. And so I said, well, okay, now what? Like, what does that mean? And she said, it means I need to go back in. I need to do another surgery. And I was like, wait, what? And she said, invasive, well, the difference is when you have just what we thought was DCIS, which is the ductal carcinoma in situ, which means it was in place. Mm-hmm. It turned out that the cancer by my nipple was the invasive cells. Mm-hmm. And so she said, when you remove those cells, you need to have larger margins.
Right.
Because they have the properties of that they like to move.
Mutate, and
move. Yeah. You need to take out more tissue rather than less. And because your breast is, most of it is just fat, like your breast tissue, a lot of it is fat. There's milk ducts in there and there's other cells, but a lot of it is fat, and you can't chew eye like tell the difference,
No.
you know, where
Right.
the wall of your skin and you need to have like a layer of fat to hold the skin together.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, to keep the like meat sack of the breast, right?
Yeah.
For lack of a better term.
Move your cord.
Here, which
Take
one?
that orange cord and take it all the way back. Yeah. And then that way it won't drag against your headphone cord.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. It wasn't that big of a deal. I just wanted to fix it. So
Where was I?
the skin and the fat tissue.
Oh, so she said, I need to go back in. And I said, wait, what the fuck? What? And she said, then we have to send those cells. They came back invasive, but now we have to send them for something called oncotyping. And I was like, what the hell is that? And excuse me, man.
Don't worry about it. I can cut it out.
Now we have to send those specific samples for oncotyping. And I thought, well, what the hell is that? I've never heard of that word, you know?
Right.
And and meanwhile, she's like, you have your follow-up appointment with me.
In a week. It was a week
right,
later.
it was a week later. And she was like, so we'll, you know, we're going to try and see what we can do and see how fast, because we want to do this quickly to take care of it. And then once you find out the oncotyping, then you'll find out if you need chemo or not, or other or radiation or a combination or
hormone blockers.
hormone therapy. Right. And I was like, what the fuck?
Right. But you said not.
I mean, I
wasn't
was
gonna have
already
any
at
of
that. Yeah. Because you were like, oh, you do this right now. You know, you're good at stage 1. Like, you know, and I know it's not their fault.
Of course not. Of course
they don't
not.
know that
No,
until
of
they
course
take
not.
that. But of course, that's all I had known.
Right.
So that's what I had
Planned for.
understood
Yeah.
and planned for.
Right.
And you know me, I was going into it. I was like, meal plan,
Oh my
supplements,
God,
workout plan, get ready, you know, do all
Everything.
these things to get ready just to bounce back from this horrible damn
One
surgery.
surgery.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I go in for my follow-up that following week, Wednesday, which was my normal post-op 2-week appointment. And she says, I have room for you tomorrow. And I was like, oh, shit. So, and I was on so many drugs. I was still on all the post-op drugs, which included gabapentin, 300 milligrams of gabapentin every night for nerve pain.
That shit really fucked you up.
It really did, girl. It really did. I know you know because you were there the whole time, but it made me psycho.
Yeah.
And then the cocktail of oxycodone for pain and what was the other
Tramadol.
we switched to the tramadol. Didn't switch to the
that's right.
tramadol yet. I was still on oxycodone at that
That's
point.
right. What was the other one?
Diazepam.
That's what it was. Yes.
And I was on diazepam every 6 hours for to control the muscle spasms, but my memory
Oh yeah.
was nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
And it was like I was just walking around chewing on Xanax bars all day.
Yeah.
It was crazy because it was like in my system, you know, because I had to have it like in there to keep so that nothing would spasm from all everything was stitched back up. So my surgery was the next day, and it was in the afternoon.
Oh, I remember that.
Late in the afternoon. And I had to fast for 8 hours before the surgery. And because I have to fast, I don't...
You can't take the medication.
I can't take my meds. And I had not realized, because I'm such the rule
Alarms.
follower
Oh my God,
and the time, like I literally had my...
You had alarms set for every time you took a pill.
Every single one, so that I didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
And I was in so much pain by the time we got to the hospital, because it's a 3-hour ride from where I live in the country to where I was having the surgery in Austin. And I didn't realize, I had no idea that not having my pain meds on time, along with the being in the car for 3 hours with the
anxiety.
incisions,
Yeah.
the anxiety.
You still had drains?
I know. I had 4 drains. I had drains out of either hip and out of either breast, and it was wrong. I got to the surgical center, and the nurse took one look at me and pushed her seat back, looked to the left, and said, "Hey, I need a wheelchair." And then she was like, "Come around here," and she's like, "Just hand me your stuff. I'm checking you in." Like, I mean, it was just it was phenomenal. I cannot believe I'm greatly impressed and indebted to the St. David's team at all. So far, they've been absolutely phenomenal at every point. And so I got in there, got the surgery done. That was that day. Then I have to go home and start healing. And then I'm like, well, now what? I have no idea what my future holds now.
Because you didn't have, because the type testing hadn't been back yet.
Right.
Because you had only had 2 weeks in between surgeries. It was
16 days.
Yeah.
It ended up being 16 days between the two surgeries.
And she had said it would take at least 3 weeks to get the onc-types results back.
Yes. Thank you. You
and
remember
so
that.
It was, So it was, at that point, you still had to wait 2 more weeks to figure out if you had something that needed to be treated more than what you just had treated.
Right. After having 2 pretty extensive surgeries, right away. And so I shifted I did what I could do. And I thought I had already doubled down on controlling controllables.
Yeah.
And then it was just like an earthquake. Like, oh yeah. And you thought you knew what you were going to deal with, and fuck you. Here you go. And
I just kept thinking too, the whole time, I was like, fuck, like we really didn't see this coming.
No.
At all. Because everything was like, oh, well, she found it early and it's not even really. She's so healthy.
Oh,
yeah,
she's
exactly.
I've been called the granola girl my entire life.
Yeah, you're nutritious Nora.
Exactly. Oh, she's strong. She's young. We found it this. We did, everything's going to be fine. You're going to have surgery and then nothing.
Yeah. And this isn't to say that like every situation has to be treated this way in our lives. Like, we're waiting for the other shoe to drop kind of bullshit.
No.
But at the end of the day, it was not something that you planned for whatsoever.
No, not yet again.
Right.
Yet a fucking again.
Yep.
Here I am. I was like, okay, and throw the cancer diagnosis into you. Okay, well, but I found it first, and I'm on top of it, and I'm going to get strong, and I'm going to get healthy, and I'm going to get right back to fucking work.
Yep.
And this is just going to be Q2 of 2026.
Yeah, exactly.
Fast forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm a cancer patient. I mean, having that diagnosis, the difference for anybody that's confused is that invasive cells, like I have to be checked for the rest of my life now.
Yeah. Yep, you do.
It's something that could come up at any point.
And you have to be very mindful with your bones, and you have to be very mindful with your brain.
Absolutely.
Those are the 2 areas. You don't have any more breast tissue, so check that bitch off the box.
Yep.
But
I know. And no more mammograms.
No more mammograms.
Not for me, bitch.
Nope. But even just like
that's a silver lining right there.
Just like
no more squishing the titties.
Yeah, but just the fact of like what kind of waiting. People don't understand, waiting.
That's definitely one of the things, that you don't I had no understanding, no realm, no reference to understanding exactly what kind of limbo you can be stuck in when you're just waiting for fucking test results.
No, when you called me that Tuesday after you got off the phone with the doctor, I was like, this is not at all.
It's not okay.
Like I could tell in your voice at that moment, like, what the fuck are we going to do? And I was like, okay, we can do this. Like, we're getting through this, because like one of the things, your brain was not doing very well throughout all of this because of all of the cocktails of meds that they put you on. But what stories did your brain start to tell you?
I mean, well, this is how it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We think it's going to be fine, and then it's not. The rug's pulled out from underneath the bus.
Because it's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
And it's a numbers game. Yeah. And the uncertainty of cancer specifically versus any other diagnosis, like chronic illness, we'll call it. Like a chronic illness diagnosis is very different. This is... We don't fucking know.
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah.
We don't know why you got it. We don't know where it came from. We don't know what it is that you're doing that's helping you not to progress it. We don't know what it is, that is going to make this one gene turn on or mutate, you know, and I have theories about that, but
Yeah.
that's for another podcast.
But it's true because you're not.
So it's the fucking fear of the unknown.
Yes.
And holy shit, what do you mean? And it's paralyzing.
Yeah.
It's paralyzing. I mean, there were days when I just couldn't do anything.
No, you were. It was almost like your body's way of protecting you by being like, okay, like we are just going to be right here, you know, and not try to do too much, you know. And I think, you know, the second surgery obviously was not as invasive as the first surgery, but it was still scary because then it was like a waiting game.
Well, yeah, it wasn't so much the surgery that brought on the anxiety. It was the unknown of what the fuck next.
Right.
Like, oh, now you're going to scrape out more tissue, but then you're telling me that you literally don't know what else you're going to have to do to me.
Yeah.
And now you're saying you told me I wasn't going to have to do chemo. Now you're telling me I might have to do chemo.
Mm-hmm. So what happened?
Then fast forward, I go and I get the oncotype results and I make an appointment with a medical oncologist because now my surgeons have done everything that they can do. So now you need a medical oncologist to determine what treatment plan is next, right?
Yeah. That's
and
not
they're the
surgical.
Ones, correct. They're the ones that talk about chemo, radiation, drug therapies, like whatever, you know, different cancers have different therapies, right?
Right.
And it was a terrible experience. I went, I had this horrible, like it was a horrible experience at a clinic. And I mean, like you walk in the door and they want you to scan a barcode so that you can sit down and wait for your name to be called.
Yeah.
Instead of, you know, like
hi,
checking
welcome.
in at the desk and being like, you know,
greeting by somebody.
So what? And the whole day, the whole appointment was like that. It was like, okay, scan your barcode, wait here. Okay, now registration will call your name. Okay, now go stand by this picture and wait for your name to be called again. Then go over here and wait for your name to be called again. Then go back to the lab and wait in their waiting area and wait to be called again. It was nuts.
You felt like you were at the DMV.
Yes, I felt it 100%. That's exactly what it felt like. It felt like going to the DMV during COVID. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
I mean, it was worse than just the DMV.
Yeah,
like it was
exactly.
it was a bad day at the DMV.
Yeah.
And the doctor that I saw was 45 minutes past my appointment time.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there trying to find out whether or not I'm going to have to do chemo.
Right.
So I can't breathe. I haven't been eating. I had that stomach bug.
Oh, that's right.
Because my immune system was depleted and we had a weekend trip.
Yep.
We had a little too much fun over the weekend.
We did, exactly.
And then I ended up getting sick from it because I hadn't challenged my immune system and everything, you know, So
I was
really not feeling well. And then that and all of these little signs, but I wasn't feeling myself and I wasn't trusting anything.
No.
I was feeling crazy from the drugs and I'm going out of my skin with the anxiety.
And you can't move or you can't do the things you want to do.
And then she comes in and she's just, it was awful. It was, I don't know what happened. My husband was there with me, so he was my witness because, like I said, I was not in my right mind. Yeah. And I tried to explain that to her. I was like, I don't do well on drugs. I'm trying. I'm sorry. I'm like, my husband's here so that I can make better,
informed decisions or questions.
Yeah, but not that I needed. I don't know. That doesn't sound right. But I at some point in the exchange, I said something that it changed her demeanor. She got offended.
Oh yeah, you questioned her on something. I remember that.
I did. I don't remember what it was. I just said, I need to understand this. I'm sorry, but I don't. It's not adding up to me. Like, tell me why, blah, blah, X, Y, whatever. She had this one paper and she was like showing me this paper and telling me I didn't need chemo, but that I needed to take a hormone blocker for 5 years. And I was like, I don't understand. What do you talk, why the oncotyping is very confusing, and the way that statistics are studied in cancer are very confusing.
Yes.
So you need to understand the difference between, like, me as a patient, I'm trying to think of it as my percentage of if I do this, then this will happen.
Right.
But in cancer, you can't do that.
Right.
It's more like if I do this, my chances of this happening are X, Y, Z.
Right. Yeah,
right,
or lowered by X,
or affected, or higher.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
exactly. Or your reoccurrence rate at 10 years is blah, blah, blah because of this, right? Like that's what the oncotyping just gives you a number.
It gives you 2 different numbers, right?
Well, that report that you're thinking of has 3 numbers. It had the thing and then that and then that. So that was also very confusing.
Yeah.
So each of your doctors, depending on which doctor you have, they use different tools. You know, they have different tools and use different things to help give you the right diagnosis. Well, apparently I said something, I questioned something, and she got very defensive with me and just locked down and was like, well, then you just don't have to do anything.
Don't forget to who else was there and what was she doing? Remember, she had somebody else with her in the room?
She had a resident watching. Yes, she had a resident who was shadowing her, and she was recording the, oh my God, meeting. Appointment, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm like, word.
I know, me too.
She was recording it with an AI scribe. Yeah, you know, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. I know how much that time that saves. Anyway, but I don't know. I said something because Denny was like, yeah, no. He was like, as soon as he was like, I don't know what you said, but she flipped on a dime and immediately got defensive and was just like, oh, well, you can either do it or you can't do it. That's all we got. You want to just you want to make your decision. Well, you want to wait, then you can wait 2 weeks and then we can re-meet. And I was like, what the fuck just happened?
My God,
I was seeking to understand. I wasn't questioning your fucking, whatever as a doctor. If you're that insecure in your own, I don't think you're the fit for me, first of all.
No.
And what I was starting to understand is that I'm a unicorn. I'm technically too young to be postmenopausal. I'm this, I'm that. All my numbers were right on the edge of being, oh, you should do this or versus you should do that. You know, it wasn't like
it was
once
gray.
Once I got all of the answers, all of my numbers were right in the middle in the gray area. You know, there wasn't anything that was like clear cut. You do this is going to help your chances. Blah blah blah.
No, there really wasn't at all.
So I was like, I really want to make sure I'm making the right decision. I'm this granola girl. Like, you think I'm going to put chemo in my body if I don't have to?
Right.
Like I'm not going to. What?
I think that was
I didn't even want to take the hormone drugs if I don't have to. You know, I don't want to take anything. That's not. I don't know.
Well, the thing that bothers
seed.
me about the whole thing is that, like, if you're a medical oncologist and you have their chart, so you can see this person was diagnosed in January, was diagnosed in February, was diagnosed in February with breast cancer. It is now May.
That was, yes.
May. That was May.
Yep.
So we're talking a few months later. She's had 2 surgeries.
I think it was end of June or end of April.
No, because the surgery...
April 7th, and 16 days later was second surgeries, end of April. It was end of April or beginning of May. I don't remember.
But whenever it was, it still was only a few months after diagnosis, and you've already had 2 major surgeries, and you were told that, and by everything that she could
and
see,
each time I was always told that nothing else was going to have to be done. Oh,
exactly.
Wait. Psych. My bad.
Yep, another surgery.
Actually, we're going to have to go back and do some more.
Yeah.
And by the way, now you might have to do something else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
And knowing allows me, the analytical brain, the A-type personality, let me just, I don't know, just evaluate, overcome, whatever.
But you're not you're also a typical person, and
I
want to know
that if I don't know what the hell is going on. I need you to give me the next step so I can figure out how to live my life, how to go about this.
Well, and that's the thing is that I think that a lot of times, especially the way it sounds like at this clinic that you went to, is that they are so overwhelmed and overworked and not have support and not have the answers.
That's what I told Denny. I told my husband, I was like, can you not feel how miserable everyone is who works here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
that's
their
not
energy.
A healthy environment.
I can feel each one of them is like Eeyore.
Yeah.
Like it's really bad in here. I don't want to be here. This is where people come to die.
Right. Exactly.
What the fuck? I don't want to,
Well, in bedside manner, like I've said, I think I've said it like 18 times this week. What do they call a doctor who finished last in class? Doctor. You're not going to get the best one all the time. But then you went to, after you saw this doctor.
Yeah.
You
then I
did
went
not
back.
know.
I
You didn't know about, she said, you don't have to do chemo.
She said, I don't have to do chemo. She said, she gave me this paper that said that if I took the tamoxifen for 5 years, it would give me that the invasive, there's only a 6% chance that the invasive cancer would come back. That's what she told me on that. Remember that paper with the little people that were like lit up or whatever?
Yep, exactly.
That, by the way, I didn't realize at the time, my name was never on that paper. My date of birth is nowhere on that paper. Nothing other than a 46-year-old female is on that paper.
And that paper was not in your medical file.
Right. Well, I didn't know that until later.
Exactly.
So so we had this horrible experience. I freak out. I don't know anything. I've waited. I'm sick.
Yeah.
So we go get Indian food because that's my comfort place. Anti-inflammatory, lovely Indian food, and my husband was like, "Fuck that." He's like, if you were talking about you're going to need therapy of some kind for up to 5 years, you need to be somewhere where you're comfortable.
Happy. Yeah, mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
and you believe that they believe in you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I fucking love you, man. Thank you. Yes, I feel crazy, but I'm glad that someone else is here
to support
looking
my
at
crazy
this and telling me
you're not crazy.
Yeah, actually, no, that was really fucked up. You shouldn't be treated that way. And especially because I had been treated so well.
Yeah.
Through the entire program. Yeah, well, not just that, but also at Peterson in Kerrville, where all my diagnosis happened.
Yeah,
like,
that's right. They were amazing.
They were so good. And so we go through, and I do some more research, and I'm like, well, you know what? Let me just go back to, there's a medical oncology in Kerrville. Let me go back and see. And so I looked at, and I saw the doctor that my doctor who diagnosed me, he had originally recommended the doctor that I chose. And so I get an appointment. It's 2 more weeks until that appointment.
Yeah.
So here I go, another 2 weeks of not knowing. Well, fuck. Now you might have to do chemo.
Well, no, at that point you didn't know you were going to have to do chemo.
I didn't know.
You thought
yet.
you were going to have to do the hormone blocking,
right. That's
and that
right.
was a big concern.
And
big concern
because I had an endometrial ablation in 2010.
Yep.
That makes your uterus very scarred tissue-y and makes it hard for uterine tumors to be found.
Yep.
And tamoxifen does increase your chances of uterine cancer. It's very small, but it's there.
Yeah.
And I'm like not ignoring anything anymore because I wasn't supposed to have cancer in the first fucking place.
Right, exactly.
So I'm like, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take that precautionary. Yeah. So I go, I wait, I meet with him, and I'm like, please explain to me, why this is working.
Just pause right here. That is exactly what pissed her off. If I remember correctly, talking to you on the phone right after you got out of the appointment, was you said to her about, well, I heard that if I take tamoxifen, and you've told her about the endometriosis thing. Oh,
yeah, no.
And that's when I
think
that's exactly when it is, because you asked her about, she was
because
like, well,
I had already done the research. Yeah.
The percentages of ovarian cancer, she was like poo-pooed on that idea.
Yeah. She had told me, she's like, that's not a thing.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
What do you mean that's not a thing? I read the research. I know I'm not a research specialist. I'm definitely not a medical oncologist, but I know how to read research and evidence-based research. Yeah.
And
not
by the way,
like
I'm a human.
Shape magazine.
I'm a human. You shouldn't even talk to me that way.
Yeah.
When it's my body that's just been through hell.
Right.
And I've only been dealing with the word cancer for 4 fucking months, you bitch.
Yeah. So I go and I meet with my new doctor in Kerrville. And I'm like, please explain this to me. And so he's like, let me be clear. You have a very, very, very good outcome. Mm-hmm. Like you did what you were supposed to do. Mm-hmm. After bilateral mastectomy, like the numbers are very low. He's like, then you did the invasive, you let her take out more tissue at larger margins. Like you're already putting all your eggs in the right basket. Yeah. He said, so let's see if we can help you with the symptoms. Because one of the things was, the hot flashes have been trying to kill me.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, literally, it's been miserable existence of they've hit me harder than any of my friends that I know of.
Yep.
I'm also technically younger than they tell you, which I'm finding out now. They don't, and when I'm saying they, I mean doctors in the United States assume that all women under 50 are premenopausal, no matter what your health history is.
They just assume that you haven't had the change.
They just assume.
Even though most of the time, if your mother went through it early, you probably will go through it early.
It could. You could also take after your father's mother in that aspect. I don't know what the genealogy is of that. Either. But anyway, they've been significant. That was the original reason why I got on HRT. I couldn't fucking sleep. And if you can't sleep, you can't recover. And if you can't recover, you feel crazy and you want to murder people and, all these things. So he was like, let me look at your, your lab work. And let's do this drug for hot flashes see if it helps. Yeah. See if it helps. See if it works. See if it makes you feel better. And get your labs done in 2 weeks. And then at that point, like, you can tell me if you want to do the tamoxifen or not. And he's like, here's this, or the tamoxifen or the aromatase inhibitors. Those are the two options, right? And I'm like, okay. And then, and he's like, so you can come in and do the labs, and then we can just do a virtual visit and catch up, once the labs are done. And I'm like, okay. So I do that, and I'm in the parking lot of HEB, and I go to do my virtual visit. HEB is our awesome grocery store. Now sponsored by. One day. Okay. Yeah, I'm sitting in the parking lot at HEB. I found a shady spot, which in South Texas is, not everywhere. And I'm like, let me just do this virtual call. Then I'll run inside and get the groceries, and then I'll be on my way home. And I get on the phone with him, and he's like, hey, I got to apologize. He's like, I don't know what's going on. He's like, but I went back, or when we spoke last, I based our appointment off of your prior appointment with this other doctor on her notes. He said, but I went back and I looked at your results, and your results and her notes don't match. I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, she's saying in your notes, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm looking at your results. That's not what this says at all. He's like, I'm looking at your results. Your oncotype testing is telling you that you're this number, which puts me right on the border, right? But then it has 2 more numbers that it multiplies in, and it tells you if I do tamoxifen alone, my chances of reoccurrence are 14.7% in the next 10 years. But if I do chemo and tamoxifen, then it's only 7%. And I was like, wait a minute, what? I thought I didn't have to do chemo. I thought we were just talking about hormone therapy. Yeah. He said, I thought we were too. That's why I'm confused as to why this is in her notes. Yeah. When you're clearly not, it from everything I'm reading, it's telling me that you would benefit, that it would cut your chances of reoccurrence in half by doing chemo. Yeah. And I was sitting in the fucking parking lot at HEB, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
And so now here I am dealing with this again with this idea. Yeah.
What? And I'm like, what are we talking about at this point? And he's like, this type of chemo, it's the most common for breast cancer. It's these 2 drugs together. It's 1 infusion every 21 days, 4 cycles. Yeah. It's 12 weeks.
12 weeks.
You will lose your hair. And I was like, what the fuck?
Well, what's crazy about that is that as a woman myself, if somebody were to say to me like, hey, you've got cancer, we're taking your breasts, or we're doing this surgery to you, and now we're going to take your hair as well, right?
I'm sure that's what every cancer patient thinks.
Yeah, but
I didn't realize it.
But you also shaved your head for one of your dearest friends who had cancer, and did that in solidarity with them. Is that what it's called? In solidarity? In support of?
In support of.
Okay, in support of a friend of yours. So you already knew what your head looked like when to be bald.
Yeah.
So that was
I
at
can
least
rock the bald.
Yeah. So that was at least one thing.
Sinead O'Connor
that I would say.
But that wasn't the point.
No.
It was the fact that I'm sick and fucking tired of getting throat punched. Yeah. With life altering pseudo facts.
Yeah.
I guess is
Yeah.
the best way to say
Yeah.
it.
Or
'Cause
like,
it's like, wait, what?
Right.
That changes my entire reality. If it
especially
goes
because
down
this
this
is
way
May.
versus this other way.
Right. Because
Yeah.
now it's May and you're going back to work in a month.
Yeah.
And you've had 2 surgeries. And now you're told, well, chemo is on the table again.
Yeah. And now I'm going to have to go back to work as a chemo baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what did you do? You went and bought an Alfa Romeo SUV. I mean, let's be honest. Like, you deserve a midlife crisis cancer car for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's a beauty.
Absolutely.
But
She's
I'm
a
not saying
gorgeous
that's
car.
exactly what you did
But
afterwards. You know that. But
no,
the
I
doctor
just-
was great with the way he handled it.
He is fantastic. I am really glad that he's my doctor, and I feel very, very well cared for there.
So he
But-
actually said to you that day,
He said, "I'm going to call you tomorrow, and you tell me what you want to do." And I was like, "Fuck, okay." I have now less than 12 hours to decide whether I'm going to do chemo or not.
and you didn't have really a whole lot of information.
I
at
didn't
all.
have anything else other than what we had this conversation in the parking lot, and Denny was on shift.
Yeah.
And he
So-
was coming home the next morning, right? And so we go over this, and then we get on the phone, and I show him the paper from, because I didn't have all that in the parking lot,
Right,
You know,
right.
and he was like, "Wait," he's like, "Put that up here. Let me see that." And so he's looking at all this stuff.
This is the paper that just said 46-year-old woman did not
Right.
have your name on it.
It didn't have my name or my birth day on it. Everything in your medical chart has your birthday.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Yeah.
That's the serial number for them to look you up,
Right,
right? It's your
right,
name,
right,
yeah. And he's like, "That is not in your chart anywhere." He's like, "Show me that again." And so I'm like showing it to him. He's taking screenshots. He's looking at the stuff. And he's like, "I'm looking this up." And so then he tells me, "Look, I don't want you to do chemo if you don't need it. But if you need it, I want you to do it. You know, if that's what you know that you're going to choose, then I
Yeah.
want to help you do that."
Yeah.
But he's like, "I am a part of this organization of breast cancer specialists in the nation that review cases like yours. That's what they do. They help us with these determining factors because everybody's not cookie cutter."
Right.
And he was like, "So we have all of, you know, this data that says this. We have this data that says this. We have this data that says this. The question is, what the fuck do we do now?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I would like you for help with. Thank you
Exactly,
very much. Yes,
exactly.
that's what we're trying to
Yes.
figure out in all this nonsense is what the fuck do we do now?"
Right.
And so that was like Friday afternoon or whatever, and he sends up my case. And then Monday, his office calls me and is like, "Can you meet with Dr. Tucker Thursday at 11? And I was like, "Thursday at 11? I'm like, that's that's like 4 more days. But yeah, and so finally I go right back into that stage of I don't know,
Yeah.
and what does this look like, and I am going to Burning Man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I guess I'm going to be bald at Burning Man, and I'm going to be this, and I'm going to be that, and fuck, I can't believe I have to go back to work and let everybody know,
Yeah.
like what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
we're on stage in our job,
Yeah, we are.
24/7, and energetically, it's exhausting sometimes.
It is. It is.
And especially when you don't want to talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
and it's
we're
also-
acquaintances.
Right. It's,
You know,
it's like
yeah.
there is a there is kind of like you don't want to go to the sad
No.
chemo
I'm so sick
cancer trainer.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to the widow trainer either.
Right, exactly.
Like you don't want to go
I
to
don't want to be
us.
the fucking boo-hoo, you know? No, fuck.
exactly.
That's not my brand. That's
No,
not who I am.
exactly.
This is not it. This is just the
Exactly.
latest fucking thing I've had to deal with.
Yep.
But
The other thing too, just on that point though, is like you said this in one of the earlier episodes about how people have always underestimated you.
yeah.
You know, and like I do feel that there is a piece of you that like you're always going to be misunderstood in some way because of the fact that you are very open and honest about what you believe and what you know. and you want people to experience things in a different way, then you had to do it.
Yeah.
And so I think it's like interesting that, you know, you're strong, but you still need help. You still need to go through these things with people. You still need to have, you know, people in your life, but it's also like not the definition of who we are as people, you know, it's like a piece of us, but we are way stronger. And,
I know.
And you
being
know,
the cancer kid was not something that I had in my bio.
no, exactly. Fought breast cancer and beat it.
It's just, that wasn't something I thought I was going to have to put as a bullet point under my name, but here we are. So, so fast forward another week of anxiety and stomach problems and diarrhea and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, you were a mess.
The anxiety was just really bad.
And right around this time was also, you came over and we started to do some stuff for you from a yoga perspective because.
Oh yeah. We had, in the midst of all of it, I'm like, again, here we go again. And I thought I was doubling down on my control the controllables, but I can still, even though whether or not I can do chemo, I still need to extend my spine.
Yeah.
And that wasn't available to me.
Right.
And it's something that I need to get back desperately.
Yeah.
And so, through, thank God. Did you see that meme or that thing I sent you guys about, I know all my friends are badasses. You think I hang out with losers, bitch?
Exactly.
No, it's like, look, here, look at my bench. Yeah. I've had these horrible surgeries, and what do I need? I need restorative yoga. That's what I need in my life. I need yoga therapy, you know? And so, Adrienne, of course, helped me write out, certain poses and things for me to do on a regular basis. And so I have like...
Sent you home with a bag full of shit?
It was like, a bag full of shit plus 5 bolsters.
I know. Well, you
4.
need them to...
Wait.
Yeah, you
orange,
need them.
purple, blue. Yeah, four bolsters, 4 blocks, and a bag of other
and
toys.
Straps. Yep, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so
and my handwritten crazy notes,
which I have memorized now. So that's just my like normal nightly routine. But now it takes me 47 minutes.
That's awesome
to do all of the postures. In some of them are 5 to 7 minutes. Extension is still only 2 to 3.
That's fine.
But it is what it is, and there it is. Yeah. So I'm doing all of that, but. And doubling again on my supplements and the nutrient density of the things I choose to put in my face. Because I ate a lot of sugar with the gabapentin and the swings and the shit. Like, I did. I ate a lot of sugar.
Interesting.
And it was super weird.
I didn't notice that.
Well, you weren't at home with me sitting on the couch eating pints of dairy-free ice cream.
No, I wasn't. No.
But I was there. It was happening.
You're just, I just remember a lot of crying, and I'm going, I can't understand what you're saying. I'm so sorry. Say it again. I can't understand.
My psychobabble.
I was so worried.
The
like,
world
okay.
is ending.
I know. We're going to be okay.
That was it. But anyway, so we made it through that week, and then and so he, my husband comes home. We get onto the call. We find out that he lines it all out for us. He says, I've had responses from this organization that have looked at everything in your file. And we don't think that you'll benefit from chemo. And I was like, why is this so hard to figure out? Not like, thank you. I'm very, very grateful, but I don't understand why it's so hard to tell. And so he was like, for you specifically, this original document, this system that they all use, all the oncologists use it when you get the oncotype score, I think it's called. That's one factor, but then your age and then this and then that, and like all your other demographics go in. The calculator itself defaults to every female under 50 as being premenopausal.
Right. Not post-menopausal.
Correct. I am post-menopausal.
Yeah.
And I said,
been.
Okay, what difference does that make? They assume that every female under 50 is premenopausal. In my case, I'm not. And the benefit of chemo comes from the fact that the chemo basically chemically castrates you.
Right.
It shuts off, it kills your ovaries.
Right.
Because what they're trying to do is specifically for my type of breast cancer, because it's estrogen
Yes.
positive.
Fed.
It eats estrogen protein. Killing the ovaries is a benefit to the long-term outcome, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, but your ovaries aren't doing anything. So if that's the main benefit of chemo is really just shutting down the ovaries, and that's already happened for you, there's not really going to be, he's like, there's not another. And I said, okay, well then if my ovaries are not making estrogen and, you know, whatever, and I'm postmenopausal, then why do I have to take an estrogen blocker?
Yeah.
And it's because you do make estrogen.
Yes,
you
you
know,
still
throughout
do.
with other, right, exactly.
It still is in your body.
It's
slightly.
about blocking the uptake.
Yes.
In order to starve any potential invasive cells that have gone to other, you know, wherever once they got mobilized.
Well, I think the Cancer Society should look at the fact that if you're talking about a woman who is in their 40s,
I think it's if you're talking about a woman,
if you're talking about a woman, she has ovaries, and I mean, even if I had gone in and I had the same kind of breast cancer, I don't have any ovaries,
right?
So they would have said I would have needed chemo, or would that have been part of it?
I don't know exactly.
Right?
Would that have even been? I don't know, because throughout this entire thing, no one ever asked me about my endometrial ablation,
And
I had to bring it up to them.
Right.
I was like, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean I don't know? I'm like, I don't know. I had an endometrial ablation in 2010. I haven't had a period since then. You tell me how to track your periods without having a period.
Exactly. I mean, and that's the thing too. It's like
trying to track your hormones and your fluctuations and your phases and everything. There's no way to do it if you don't have any.
You don't know your phases.
It's really hard.
No, you can't do it.
Yeah.
With all of this being said about hormones, and if you now kind of look at all of our friends are going to functional medicine doctors that are not covered by insurance to get hormone testing done to see why the fuck they feel so goddamn crazy in their 40s.
Last week was 11 weeks from the first surgery. And I saw Jen, who is my plastic surgery team, and I got cleared to exercise. Finally.
Yep.
First surgery took out the cancer and rebuilt the breasts from the deep flap reconstruction.
Right.
But then the second surgery took out part of that transplant
in order to clear the margins.
Right. So the right breast looks like someone took an ice cream scoop out of the corner chunk of it. And so in order to fix that, they're going to do some liposuction and spin the cells down and take those fat cells and replace them with the ones that I lost in the second surgery. But they're going to do it at the same time that they give me nipples. So one more surgery. Hopefully that's it.
Yes.
I told you earlier, I hope this is the last surgery of my life. And I know you think I'm crazy, but I really hope that I never have to get another surgery in my life. Hopefully.
I think I'm knocking on wood for you.
So yeah, we're going to do that. They're going to do, and I have to wear Spanx. I have to wear this crazy,
oh my God, it is
like
really
under
crazy.
weird bodysuit thing for 3 weeks after. But I have been cleared to go back to work part-time.
Yes.
I obviously can't lift anything because I just got
nobody's going to make you lift anything.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, like, for those who know what I do.
Yeah.
I can't spot, my 200 plus pound men on the squat rack yet, but I can start, and I can start to teach, and maybe not demonstrate everything fully, but I've used many teaching. I've used many teaching tactics where I mean,
use your words.
Exactly. You got to use your words. Like, you're not always allowed, to demonstrate what you're talking about.
And nor should you, ever.
So we'll be going back to work part-time the 6th of July. Yay.
I can't wait to have you back.
And then, and I'm able to exercise. So I've been the last 3 days in for class,
which has been great.
And that's been humbling. I'll tell you, it's super weird because I have to tell you, I'm still numb.
Yeah.
Like my chest, my ribs, my abdominal wall, all the way down to my pubic bone, everything is still numb.
Yeah.
So for somebody that can feel, I can usually feel when I'm engaging my psoas, which I don't know. I guess I know regular people can't do that.
No, I know.
Most of my clients can't do that.
No.
So but for me to be able to, I was telling Laura this morning, it feels good to move, but then it's also, I'm having to have a lot of faith in myself or in my body that it remembers.
It will.
What to do because I can't feel it working. So whereas before, if you're trying to do a roll down, you can feel your abdominal wall lift and, brace, and then you can feel your spine safe.
Yes.
Before you move into it. I can't feel that.
You can just feel it from the back line.
Right. And through the breath.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's deeper.
That's
like
even
underneath the numbness.
Yes.
Right?
That's really good, though, because that's something that people don't.
I know.
They don't take, advantage of utilizing your breath. And that's something I've said from the beginning of this whole journey with you is practice breathing.
Absolutely.
Breathing, lateral breathing, back breathing, all of that breathing.
Yeah. So that part I'm excited about. And yes, I bought my car.
Yes.
I bought my car. I know that I don't care if it fucking sounds silly. But for me,
it wasn't frivolous, by the way.
Yeah.
You needed to buy a car.
Right, I did.
You were in a situation that you needed to buy a car.
My son's car had died for the last time. And we were just done.
Yep.
And we needed to, he's been using my car since I haven't been driving because I haven't been, I've been existing. And so,
you've been healing.
So yeah, exactly. But he, needs I can't just go back to work and him not have a car now. So I had to figure out this situation. And then this car came up that was this great deal and it was this whatever. And I was like, you know what? Just fucking do it. We need to cross this off the list. We need to get it done. We need to, I got to prepare. I get to go. I'm trying to reclaim my life.
And this was also while chemo was still on the table too.
It was, and it was a good distraction technique.
Exactly.
So I was like, okay, we got to figure out the car situation. Whether or not I was going to have chemo, I was still trying to go back to work.
Yeah, yeah.
I was hoping that she was going to give me the clearance. That was what we had talked about. She's like, you do all these things, then I'll clear you for partial duty. Here. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. So I get the car, and I was miserable and. Not to say that it wasn't a great car. It was a beautiful car. It was just yours. Not me. No. And I'm going to tell you right now, it may sound fucking batshit crazy, but bitch, I am not buying all new fucking cups.
No.
Just because I got a car that seemed to have this fucking car had one normal size cup holder that my water bottle would fit in.
Right.
And then immediately behind it in the little center
console
thing, it had two what looked like Red Bull size. Like if I could put a Celsius or a Red Bull in there.
Oh my God.
Or a plastic water bottle if I drink out of plastic.
Yeah.
But nothing I own, not one of my coffee cups, not one of my protein cups, not one of my water botters. The three things that I have, I'm the beverage queen. That's what Denny calls me.
Yes.
I always have beverage. Yes. I walk out the door, I have three beverages at no. Fucking Adrienne has three right now.
Exactly.
So, yeah, always. But not one of them fit.
No, that would piss me off.
I was so irritated. And I was like, what is this? I just don't want this another thing to be
annoying.
When
it's supposed to be my midlife crisis cancer car, it was not.
I know. When you said those words to me, and I was just like, you know what? This should be my midlife crisis cancer card. It never occurred to me that I should do that. And then that triggered a memory. I lost my mother-in-law to breast cancer 13 years ago. Hers was metastatic, but it didn't start out that way, right? So she had cancer, she had surgery, she went into remission. Then it came back, she had radiation, and chemo, went into remission. The third time it came back, she didn't tell us. But she went out and bought a shiny red Cadillac convertible. And I was just like, oh, shit, Adrienne, if you aren't fucking brilliant, you're right. I don't want to be the person that waits to find out that she's dying. Yeah. In order to drive the fucking car she wants.
Exactly.
What the hell am I doing?
Right.
And so I went home that night. I told Denny, I was like, I don't like her.
Not Adrienne, the car.
Not Adrienne. Not Adrienne. The car. I just don't like her. She's very pretty.
She's just
and she's got this, and you can wave your foot under the back tailgate and it opens. That's cool. But she's pretty for somebody else.
Exactly.
I just don't like her. And shout out to Carvana. Hopefully to be sponsored by. Every day.
Every day. Yep. Manifest this shit.
Yeah, it's Carvana. When you buy a car, you have 7 days or 400 miles to figure out if you like it because you're buying a car that you've never seen, right?
400 miles.
Yeah, so I drove it. I drove it 250 miles.
That's
tried.
awesome.
Yeah. And there were other things. It was little things, but there were other things. And then it was just, it came back to the fucking cups.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at the end of the goddamn day, I'm not buying all new fucking cups.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you insane?
No.
You know how many other things I have on my plate right now? I'm not fucking buying new cups. I have to buy bras. I have to buy pants. I have to buy all this other shit. You know, fucking. I have to buy Spanx. Yeah, exactly. $50 a fucking pop these crazy bodice things I have to wear. Anyway, so then he's like, it's okay. He's like, don't worry. He's like, we'll find you another car. It's not a big deal. He's like, so we sit on the couch and we're watching a show that we're watching together, and he's like, this was maybe 35 minutes later. Pause the show.
35 minutes later.
Exactly. And I'm like, he paused the show and he showed me, and I was like, that's it. That's the one I want. I don't give a fuck. I want that car. She's got red leather interior.
She's a beauty.
It's the little things in life, you know? Yeah. And she's Italian. She's so beautiful. I love it so much. Panoramic sunroof. So I got my car. I got cleared to exercise. I got to have one more little day surgery.
Going back to work.
I'm going back to work part-time for a few months, but that's okay. So I can, I got to fucking get my endurance back. I go up the stairs and I'm like,
it's okay. We'll get it back.
You know,
you'll be okay.
So it's going to take me a little while, but I mean, that's it. That's the, restorative yoga, walking. Oh, I'm hiking a lot.
Yeah,
I'm in the garden. I got a swing for the garden, so I can just sit and meditate in the swing. That's really been lovely. And then I think one of the funniest things, I guess this is the last thing that was on my list, was that I had no idea. First of all, because I'm the granola girl, I never in a million years thought I would have plastic surgery.
Right. Or really any surgery.
Really, I was trying not to ever have surgery again.
Right.
Did we say that?
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. No fucking surgery. But for real, I'm not that. I'm just not that girl. But damn, it's fucking fun. I had no idea. It's fun and it feels posturally so fucking good to have perky tits.
Yep.
For the first time in 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't feel that I am being pulled forward and down.
Right.
From the second I open my eyes in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Until the time I fall asleep at night. And that's really nice, okay? So
exactly.
Shout out to all my fake titty mamas out there. I fucking get it, girl.
Exactly.
I get it now. And fucking more power to you.
Yeah.
It feels fantastic. My shoulders feel better. Like it's nuts. My thoracic.
Yep.
Everything just feels better. So I thought, man, that's really funny. In all of this, never thought about
getting breast reconstruction, a tummy tuck, and lipo.
Yeah, now I'm going to be like the poster child of fucking.
Anytime.
What do you want to talk about?
Yeah,
here you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wait, did you have breast cancer? Yeah. Oh, no, you didn't. You just had a tummy tuck?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we could talk about that.
Yeah, we could talk about that.
You had lipo? Oh, yeah, I know what that's like.
Yeah. We could talk about that too. Yeah. Let's get right down to it. Yeah, here you go. I know. Isn't that nuts? So, whole new meaning to the phrase tits up, bitches.
Exactly. Exactly. I've got a couple of things that I thought would be really good to end on. Finish these sentences. Okay. Nobody told me
cancer. Telling people that you have cancer was so emotionally draining.
That's a good one. I already said that one.
We just started this game.
I know, exactly.
We just started.
Okay. I wish I'd known.
Oh, that's a big one. I wish I'd known that female reproduction was something that I needed to self-educate on, and not rely on my medical team to be educated in.
Yes. Yeah. Big time.
I wish I knew that earlier, before it was already happening to me.
Right.
I wish I knew in my 30s.
I wish I knew when I was a kid.
I wish I knew when I got my period.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're going to have periods for this many years,
Yep.
but then these things are going to change.
And then the change is coming.
It's just, I mean, you know, if we fucking talked about it, it wouldn't be this,
Yep.
oh, you know, whatever, woo-woo, it's menopause talk,
right.
you know?
Or
Like,
it's just
what
the women.
No,
it's just women being crazy.
It's just, it's just hysterical women.
It's just hysteria.
Women hysteria, you know? Yeah, what?
Yep.
Yeah.
What about, I was surprised by...
This year, I was surprised by how fast everything seemed to move. Even though it took time for me to be diagnosed, it could have taken a lot longer.
Yeah.
It took me, you know, whatever, a couple of days or a week to get into surgery, but it could have been weeks, you know?
Yeah.
It could have been, every time I turned around, it was like, oh, I moved somebody, like even my initial appointment with Dr. Griffin, right? Like, oh, there was a cancellation. Can you come tomorrow?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, well, I have, and then we show up for my follow-up and she's like, I have room at tomorrow at 3.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really.
That is true. Because I think too, you know, even though we talked about the waiting a lot, having to wait for answers, having to wait for clarification.
I know people that have had to wait.
Right.
A lot longer than I did.
Exactly.
And then they get, like, sometimes you get bad information, you know, like I did.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like a yo-yo. Like, oh, you think you know this, and then, oh, wait, now you're back here.
Yeah.
And then, oh, wait, now you have all these things
Yeah.
to put in, to calculate.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. What about, I was going to ask the hardest part, but I don't really like asking that kind of question. I would rather ask.
The whole thing is hard.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what else is hard?
It's like,
everything.
What's the hardest thing about your husband dying?
Right, exactly. Everything. What? Right.
My whole fucking life.
Exactly.
My existence.
Exactly.
Breathing. What?
Right.
Yeah, everything.
But what was the easiest part?
I think the routines. Because I'm good at them. No, like I already knew what to do as far as supplementing and, you know, coming to you and getting the stretching, you know, like sequences written and things, you know, being able to control the controllables because it's what we do.
Yeah.
I think that was probably the easiest part of it. But most people don't have those tools in their tool bag, which is why I wanted to talk about this in this format because I think people need to understand that what we talk about on a daily basis is the thing that's going to be there and can be the easiest part of
going through this process is
the worst part of your life or whatever, you know?
Okay. There's another question. It's like, I cried when? It's like, well, what the fuck? We've been crying this whole time. So everything. But I laughed when. And I have a couple that I remember.
When I figured out that I like the way my tits feel, that was pretty amusing, you know? Once they weren't hurting anymore, you know, like, you know, I love my fake tits.
Yeah, exactly.
My Franken boobies have turned out to be really fun. Fact that every single nurse, doctor,
that's exactly
everyone, like medical assistant, they're like, damn, your tits look good. And I'm like, oh, damn, do they?
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
They do?
Yeah,
they do.
They
do, don't they? Yeah, wow. They're right there.
He's a genius and an artist.
He said, yeah, he's a professional, absolutely, but the man is an artist.
Exactly. Your calendar says it's time to go back to work. Does your body agree?
No.
Yeah. But you're going to manage it.
I am. I'm going to manage it. I'm going to fake it till I make it. And just knowing no days are guaranteed.
Yeah. That's a big thing.
I mean, except yesterday.
Exactly. And we don't have to do yesterday again.
That's right.
Except yesterday was kind of fun because we went out to dinner with our friends.
It was. For the first time, the 5 of us and only the 5 of us. And it felt so fucking good to just be.
Yep.
And we didn't have to talk about death, and we didn't talk about cancer.
Nope. We just enjoyed
and ate.
Oh my God.
And ate and
we
ate
so much food.
And it was so good.
It was so good.
It was so good.
No, we got that's, I think, if anything has come out of all of the year of the fucking fire horse for us so far is we didn't plan for this, but we're here. And for now, that's enough.
For now, that's enough.
Thank you for talking to me again. Thank you for sharing.
Absolutely. All the time.
Listeners, if this episode resonates with you, please share it with someone. We're going to have some more episodes of We Didn't Plan for This coming for you shortly. Be on the lookout for some new things headed your way, as well as, in case of emergency, press play, small little meditations, and chomps, bobos.
What else did we name drop? Oh,
HEB.
yeah.
If you're out there,
yes.
if you're out there and you're looking for a small, nichey little cute podcast that
Just
you
a
want to
cute
spend,
little
just
conversation.
a little tiny conversation. We're open. Thank you guys so much. Until next week. If this conversation meant something to you, share it with someone who might need it too, or reach out and tell us what landed with you at Yoga Changed on Instagram. And before you go, take a breath. Take a second. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. We didn't plan for this, but we're here.